Welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic, the governor of Maine is refusing to comply to Trump's no transgender men in women's sports bill. So Trump completely destroyed the woman in person, right to her face during a press conference. Here's a clip.
The NCAA has complied immediately, by the way. That's good. But I understand Maine. Is Maine here, the governor of Maine? Well, are you not going to comply with it?
I'm complying with state and federal laws.
We are the federal law. Well, you better do it. You better do it because you're not going to get any federal funding at all if you don't. And by the way, your population, even though it's somewhat liberal, although I did very well there, your population doesn't want men playing in women's sports. So you better comply because otherwise you're not getting any federal funding.
See you in court.
Every state, good. I'll see you in court. I look forward to that. That should be a real easy one. And enjoy your life after governor because I don't think you'll be in elected politics.
You have to love that. I mean, I don't know why this woman, obviously we know why this woman is dying on this transgender hill. I mean, here's a clip of her, at some sort of pride festival. But wow, I mean, you have to be, if you're a citizen of Maine, if you live in Maine and your governor is dying on this hill of men competing in women's sports, and you're losing your federal funding, which is basically probably about 45% of their funding is federal funding. And you got this moron woman who just wants to try to stick it to Trump, even though Trump just owned the woman completely. I mean, that is a complete owning. But yeah, she's just trying to stick it to Trump by letting men compete in women's sports. She's complete anti-woman, as you can see. I mean, I don't even know if it is a woman, honestly. There's an old clip of Trump calling her a man and, on the phone. It was pretty hilarious. But yeah, it's just sickening that these people think that they can go up against Trump and America too, because he's got the mandate of the people, Remember, people, popular vote. They hate that we can say popular vote this time. But yeah, I mean, this woman's career is basically over now. And, yeah, like Trump said, good luck to her in her future life, but I don't think she's going to have a job in politics very much longer. But all right, next topic. Joy Reid of MSNBC has officially had her show, The Readout, canceled. And, it's crazy too because she's a black woman and they did it in, right in the middle of Black History Month, which basically shows that they're not messing around anymore. But here's a quick clip of why Joy Reid probably got her show canceled and why nobody watches the show anymore anyways.
We begin our final sprint, having arrived at that point in the election season where basically we on this side of the TV screen have said all we can. We've laid out the stakes in this crucial election where one side stands for freedom while the other meets the textbook definition of fascism, namely a far-right dictatorial regime like Hitler's Germany or Franco's Spain or Mussolini's Italy, but also white-ruled South Africa before Mandela and the black majority took control, or Vladimir Putin's Russia, Viktor Orban's Hungary, or Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela today, that suppresses the rights of women and minorities, uses the military to execute the whims of a strongman dictator, and controls and suppresses the press, education, the arts, rewrites history to suit a favored and dominant racial class, and foments extravagant corruption in order to enrich the dictator and his friends.
But yeah, see, when you have a show like that, all it does is basically just destroy a network. I call those types of shows network destroyers. And if it seemed like the higher ups at these networks were just perfectly okay destroying their network, and now that Donald Trump's back in office and people have just spoken and said, yeah, we don't watch that stuff anymore and we don't believe that stupid crap. Only there's maybe about 20% of the nation might actually still believe that type of crap. But yeah, I mean, Finally, we're seeing the reckoning for all these terrible news shows and these terrible news networks coming around, hopefully for them. I mean, I don't really care because I don't watch mainstream news or media at all, really. But yeah, hopefully for them, they're going to come around and start giving Americans real news and not just, their opinion and what they want you to think. That's all it is their agenda and what they want you to think about what the news is, not what the actual news is. But it's good to see Joy Reid out, no pun intended, the Reid out. But all right, next topic. Ilhan Omar thinks Americans are idiots. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
These people are just idiots. I really, I'm at the point where it's become really hard to have an intellectual debate with any of these people because the level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing, not just in Congress, but as Americans. And the fact that these people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things tells you that the dumbing of the United States has arrived, because how else do we get a Trump presidency again?
Yeah, I just can't stand this woman. I mean, I don't know how this woman got any sort of government job. Just obviously she hates America. That's just pure fact, I think, at this point. But yeah, I mean, apparently, allegedly, this woman married her brother so he could become a U.S. citizen, and just that's how sickening she is, And listen, she obviously is from some sort of shithole country, right? And if you don't like America and you think we're all idiots and you can't talk to us because we're just so dumb, why don't you move back to your shithole country? Or do you not like your shithole country? See, that's the thing. These people, they're from shithole countries and they want to come tell us how dumb we are and how terrible of people we are. When, why did you leave your shithole country in the first place, huh? Probably because it sucked, and probably because it was a terrible place. The people were probably just shithole people as well. And yeah, this woman pretty much needs to be deported back to wherever she's from, and basically made an example of where, if you marry your brother and you're trying to skirt the system like that, we're gonna just, we're gonna make it so you're gone. All right, next topic. So Trump has finally mentioned, well, I don't say he's finally, but he is actually calling out, the spraying that's going on up in the sky, the chemtrails spray. Go ahead, take a look at the clip.
But, we have one stat that I quote, the autism stat, and you hear different numbers, but it's thousands. They say between 10 and 20,000. So if you go back 15 years ago, we had nobody. It was 1 in 20,000. Now we have 1 in 34. Is that right? 34. So 34 or 36 kids have autism. And if you go back, I guess 18 years, that whenever that was done, it was 1 in 20,000. So we got from 20,000 to 34, 36. That's unbelievable. So there's something wrong. There's something wrong. We've done something wrong. There's something, you're going to figure it out. Maybe it's a spray that we spray all over the place that nobody else does. Other countries don't. The Pennsylvania Dutch, they don't do anything, and they're amazingly healthy.
All right, it's just great to see that somebody on such a high level is calling out the whole chemtrail spraying, which everybody has tried to claim, oh, that's just a conspiracy. That's just a conspiracy. That's just condensation. No, folks. You see, when you see an airplane up in the sky and it's got a little tiny trail that just dissipates and disappears and you don't see it anymore, yeah, that's called condensation, folks. It's a real small trail, and then it just goes away. Now, the chemtrails, the crap that they're spraying into the sky, like all these weird aerosols and aluminums and stuff that are probably, helping kill you, number one. But yeah, when you see one go from one end of the sky to the other, and it doesn't go away, then it just turns into one of these weird fake wispy clouds, and then all of a sudden a perfectly blue day is turned into, you know, a crappy hazy day. Yeah, that's a chemtrail, folks. When it goes from one end of the sky to the other, that's them spraying bullshit into the sky. And, you know, if you're not aware of this, you know, you might want to become aware pretty quickly, because, you know, it certainly might be causing all the autism, as Trump has suggested in that video. And if it's creating autism, I mean, it just needs to be eliminated immediately. First of all, I don't get why we're spraying crap into the sky, number one. I mean, what the hell are we doing that for? Just spraying weird crap? But yeah, if it turns out where it's causing all this autism with, you know, also the kids' jabs, if those are causing the autism too, we're ending the kids' jabs. Can't do it. There's no vaccine schedule anymore. You know, that's it. But yeah, open up your eyes, folks, and be aware. Look into the sky, and if you see these chemtrails, you know, going from one end of the sky to the other, just know that you're probably breathing in some sicko chemicals, and it's probably having an effect on your life. But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to subscribe. We'll be seeing you.